Hey, this is Stacy from Let's Cook, y'all. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We hope you'll enjoy what you see and you'll consider hitting that red subscribe button. We are back with a brand new week of some easy and delicious meals. We've got 5 meals in total for you guys, a bonus dessert, an update on something that was happening around our house food related, and a couple of takeout meals at the end because someone was having a birthday. Hope you enjoy the video this week. The first meal we have for you guys is something that Tim requested. I held up my fingers to. This is 2 chicken breasts that I took out of the freezer and cut into long strips, not tenderloins, but just strips. I seasoned them simply with salt and pepper and then a purchased fajita seasoning that I got at Kroger. So, tip off, we're making fajitas tonight. I'm going to cut up some veggies to go with the chicken. I had 2 bell peppers in the house from Kroger. I caught them on a sale. There's probably a better way to cut a bell pepper, but if you've watched here before, you're likely to have picked up that I don't eat bell peppers. I don't like them. I don't really even like touching them. There's probably better ways to cut them, but I go around the edges and then pull those stems out. So I cut up the bell peppers, some onion, and for me, because I love them, some mushrooms to go along. I'm going to combine all the veggies and toss them together. Looks like I probably needed a bigger bowl, but I don't have a very good eye when it comes to things like that or finding leftover containers. But I tossed them all together and dressed them the same way I did the chicken with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and the same packaged fajita seasoning from Kroger. We've done this once before and Tim asked for them again. I cooked these in my air fryer. I'm going to put the chicken in at 380 and about 6 minutes in, I'm going to take the chicken out, toss it around, put a little more oil and seasoning on it, and then add the vegetables and put them all back in there together to cook for the remaining 14-15 minutes or until they're done. Per Tim's request, we've got chicken fajitas. That was 2 chicken breasts, 2 bell peppers, 1 onion. It's still hot and fogging up my lens. 1 container of mushrooms, and that will give us several meals. Some refried beans that I topped with chopped onion and taco sauce. We've also got guacamole and chips. Make our plates, show you a quick picture. Couldn't be any easier. Everything's done in the air fryer except the beans on the stovetop. Fajitas is what's for dinner tonight. For tonight's meal, I had an ingredient in my refrigerator I wanted to use up, so I pulled out 2 pork chops from my freezer, and I seasoned these with some Trader Joe's 21 Seasoning Salute, some onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of Tim's current favorite seasoning, which is Tony Chachere's, so a Creole or Cajun seasoning. I got my skillet hot on the stovetop and then added some olive oil and just gave these a quick brown or quick sear. We're not going to cook them all the way. We're just going to brown them off and transfer them to a crock pot or slow cooker. I'll put the pork chops in and then be sure to pour all those pan juices and flavor from the skillet left on top, and then we will take some thinly sliced white or yellow onion and add to the top of the pork chops. And then the ingredient that I had wanted to use up from my refrigerator was the rest of a container of sauerkraut. We made some bratwurst recently and had the rest of the package left, and so I pulled this very old recipe out and made again. I don't have apple juice, so I'm going to use sliced up apple and chicken broth. The original recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of liquid, a mix of either apple juice and apple cider, and some chicken stock. But as I said, I just use all chicken stock and I added the sliced apples, and we really liked it this way. It also calls for thyme and some caraway, which I didn't use, and I also added some minced garlic. Crock-pot meals never photograph very well or film, but they taste great. This is pork chops with sauerkraut and apples. Just some simple sides. I fixed a fall salad with spinach, red onion, apple, cheddar, and toasted walnuts. Boiled some potatoes on the side and put salt, pepper, and butter. We will fix our plates and have a fall feast. That's what's for dinner tonight. have another ingredient I need to use from my refrigerator. It's the cotija cheese I bought to make Mexican corn salad, so we're going to make another one. This time I'm using frozen corn. I'm going to cover it with saran wrap and just nuke it in the microwave until it's cooked through, and then go use the original recipe that I used before, which is basically a dab of sour cream, a dab of mayonnaise, some chopped red onion, some lime juice, and the cotija cheese. Someone commented last week about adding cilantro, and I'm sure that's delicious. I just have the weird gene where if cilantro is in a dish, it tastes like soap to me. So taste and adjust and add what you like. I added a little more lime and a little more cotija. With the corn salad in the refrigerator earlier in the day, it was time to take some of the leftover fajita meat and vegetables and microwave those up enough to heat them up. I took some shredded Colby Jack cheese, some of the meat and vegetables, and then I also added some of the cotija cheese, which I'm trying to use up. And surprise, I didn't use my air fryer, just a skillet on the stove to make the quesadillas. Just took the fajita meat and vegetables and turned them into a quesadilla. Tim's going to have chips and salsa. I made a very small batch using some frozen corn this time of the Mexican street corn salad and heated up the beans we had the other day. So we are working on leftovers in our house tonight. That's what's for quesadillas. Corn and beans is what's for dinner tonight. Got my favorite little West Bend crock pot out again and sprayed it. This thing is over 20 years old and I will cry the day that it no longer works. We're going to take one chicken breast for the two of us, season it really well with some garlic powder, some Trader Joe's onion salt, some Mrs. Dash chicken, some Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, and salt and pepper. And then I just mixed up a little bouillon using Better Than Bouillon paste. This will cook in my little crock pot in about 2 or 3 hours. Tim loves onion rings, and we were anxious to try these Red Robin ones that I found at Walmart. Those puppies are big. Using the oven time and temp on the bag and converting it at airfryercalculator.com, I cooked these at 370 about 14 minutes. I got my chicken breast out of my West Bend and got another one of my favorite kitchen gadgets, which is our instant read thermometer. We've had this one 15 or 20 years and it still works great. I'll leave a link to it below. I took the one chicken breast for the two of us and started pulling or shredding the chicken. We're going to add a sauce to it. In the meantime, over on the stovetop, I got Tim's little egg skillet hot and started sauteing some spinach, which turned out to be mostly for me. Tim was not amused at the green vegetable I chose tonight. Once it was sauteed, I added some garlic at the end and then some feta. I love the combination of spinach and feta. That's one of my favorite omelets, is a spinach and feta omelet. Rather than the Caesar dressing that I usually use, and I'll leave a link to that recipe, I'm going to try this. I had it in my pantry. I think I thought I was going to do wings for football games, but we're not doing wings right now, not doing much football, so I'm going to toss it with the pulled chicken and we'll see what this variation tastes like. I got this bottle from Kroger because it has no high fructose corn syrup, and in the ingredients there's no MSG because I have a lot of problems with MSG. So I'm going to toss the meat and check on the onion rings. When Tim and I got married, I didn't know a thing about cooking. I could barely boil water, but I've learned through the years, mostly through trial and error and a lot of failures. Simple things like this one I'm showing you right here is sometimes less is more. You don't need to pour half the bottle of sauce on it. You can start with a little. You can always add more, but you can't go back and take it out. And usually it doesn't take as much as you think. And I added a little Parmesan cheese. A bit of a mishmash tonight. I had some hamburger buns, and we're going to try the chicken tossed with the Parmesan garlic sauce rather than the Caesar, which is what I normally use. Rather than the Kroger brand of onion rings, I think we're going to like these Red Robin brand a little bit better out of the air fryer. And like I said, mishmash, it totally doesn't go, but I had some spinach in my produce drawer that needed using, so I sauteed that with garlic and feta. So I've got some buns. We'll make our sandwiches. When Tim gets in, I'll see if he just wants ketchup or to mix up some kind of sauce for his onion rings. I'll show you a quick picture of our plate. That's what's for dinner tonight. And the leftovers, I ate all the spinach. We've got enough onion rings left for a meal for Tim. And this was one chicken breast.
I've said it before, pulled chicken is very economical, whether you use barbecue sauce or buffalo sauce or Caesar dressing or any kind of bottle of whatever you've got in your pantry. We will get at least 2, maybe 3 more sandwiches out of this. So very economical thing to do. Pull and shred chicken and mix it with a sauce.
I am a fruit-loving girl. I love all the berries and produce of summer, but I do love apples and pears in the fall, and I love to make these fall fruit crostadas. We've shared a full video on this on our channel before, and I'll leave a link. Other than a couple of apples and pears and some prepared pie dough, everything else is a pantry ingredient for me. You mix up some spices and sugar. Dice up the apples and the pears. We're going to mix those together with some dried cranberries from the pantry and toss that with lemon juice, and then start layering in the sugar and spice mixture. The dry mixture is some cornstarch, brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, ginger, and a pinch of salt. We'll take 1 box of pie crust, which is 2 sheets, and roll them out. We'll cut each into 4 quarters, so this is going to end up making 8 crostadas. You can make them fully enclosed. I like to make them kind of rustic and partially open. And I folded the first one and forgot to add some little slices of cold butter. So you roll up each crostada. We're going to brush the tops with a little egg wash, which is just 1 beaten egg with a little dash of water added. Then I like to add some turbinado sugar on the top. It gives them a nice sweetness and a little crispness on the top. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and in my oven these bake in about 15 minutes or whatever the instructions say on your box of pie dough. These are so good on their own or with ice cream. Try them this fall.
The other big bag of chips we got at Sam's Club, I don't think have we tasted these? They're limited time only, so I don't think we've tasted them.
They're good.
Are they good? You like these better than the Carnitas street tacos?
Probably like these better, but there was nothing wrong with those. They just were different.
We just couldn't figure out the taste.
That tastes like a Dorito supposed to taste.
They're good, but they're cheesy. I do taste extra cheese. It almost tastes like Velveeta. Tastes like Velveeta. They're good. If you like Doritos, you'll like these. Pretty much taking a night off today. Tim did the grilling, burgers for him, cheeseburgers for him, salmon burgers for me. Didn't even put french fries in the air fryer, just the chips. And that's pretty much it. I'll show you a quick picture of our plate. Burgers and chips is what's for dinner tonight.
The whole time Tim and I have been married, we've never lived anywhere that's been under a boiled water alert or notice until this week. We went about 4.5 days where I was having to boil water for coffee, tea, drinking, cooking, and we went through a lot of bottled water. It made me really appreciate clean running water from the faucet. And lastly, it was my birthday this week. We took 0 pictures of me. Everything was of the food, so I threw in a picture when I was 2 years old. But Tim treated me to breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert.
A little early birthday celebration for me. I got to pick. I picked a Greek place that's about, I don't know, I guess we spent 30-40 minutes driving up there to pick up an order. We got some hummus with pita chips. Tim got a gyro with fries, and I got a big Greek salad with some grilled redfish on top that I am very excited about. So, Greek is what is for dinner in our house tonight. Awesome.
Then I was treated to donuts for breakfast. No pictures. I scarfed them down, and poor camera work at Panera that I picked. We had sandwiches and soup.
To me, birthday means splurging on things I don't normally have, and so Tim always indulges me. I either make my own cake or he takes me to Fresh Market and I pick stuff from the bakery case. This year I picked a Tuxedo Napoleon, a Black Forest Napoleon, and because we ate at Panera and you get a free pastry item for your birthday, I got a free black and white brownie. So I am set for a couple days with birthday desserts. Thank you, sweetheart, for getting them for me.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Take care and have a wonderful and truly blessed day.